It's one thing to have a brand and another thing to have a brand that people see as credible to the point where they want to pay you cash to work with you. Which one do you want? I think I do the one you want. And that's why you're watching this video. In today's video, I want to take you through simple ways that you can build brand authority. And these tips are tips that you can implement online and even offline. Hi, I'm Deborah, and you've made such a brilliant decision watching this video today. I work as a launch strategist, and one question I get most times from my clients is, oh, how do I now build my brand to the point where people can trust me and people can pay? And every time I've dragged into this brand building conversation, the first thing I always like to say is that everybody has a brand at the moment. But then you need to ask yourself, do you have an accidental brand or do you have an actual brand? Everyone has a brand at the moment. So whether or not you're intentional about creating the perception people have of you at the moment or not, you have a brand. But you need to choose to go from having an accidental brand to having an actual brand. An accidental brand may be that brand perception that you have already, based off of the stories you've been sharing so far, the random memes you've been posting, the random shares, the random videos, you blogging your experiences, you sharing your wins, right? By doing all of these things that you're doing at the moment with your current brand, people already have a perception about you. So the first step to building brand authority is phone keeping, right? I always like to tell my clients when we first start out with building an intentional brand to ensure that they are auditing what their current page looks like. Let's try something quickly, right? I need you to go to your most used social media channel or your most preferred platform. So it can be Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, the one that you're currently, positioning yourself as an expert as, and really just look at it. Does it tell the same story that you're telling? If you're trying to tell the story of someone who is a premium expert, who is a high value person, who is a solution enthusiast, right? Does your page give off that vibe? When people look at your first 9 to 12 posts, does it tell the same story? When we look at your highlights, are we seeing videos maybe 5 years ago that are not relevant to your journey at the moment? So you want to do a whole keeping. And with doing your home keeping, I want you to do these 3 things. The first thing I want you to do is change what your bio looks like. If your bio doesn't reflect that authority, that credible person, you want to change it to the messaging that reflects what you do in the highest light. Another thing you also want to check are your links. Most times we have links that are outdated, links that don't work, links that are broken, or links that lead people to pages that we don't want them to be led to at this point. So you want to update it and make sure that even if you have a link tree, it has maximum about 3 to 5 links so that people are not spoiled for choice when they land on your link in bio. The third thing you want to do is just do a basic question to ask yourself, right? When people land on my page, what kind of words do I want them to associate me with? What emojis will I use or never use? What words will I use or never use? Just sit with yourself and ask yourself, if your brand perception was in the most perfect light, if your brand has gotten to that highest view, one common mistake we often make is that we feel we will build our brand perception when we get there. So we have this image that building brand authority and a proper brand perception is for those who have gotten there, those who are already making 6 figures, 7 figures in their business, but then you're not there yet. So you just feel like, no, I won't really pay attention to that now. But what you're doing is that you're repelling those clients who would actually come into your business and take you to those 6, 7 figure level that you actually want to get to. So you need to ask yourself, what does a proper brand perception look like? One hard truth that we always run away from is the fact that you cannot say what your brand perception is. Your brand perception is not something you say. It is something people see. So it's people outside that are saying it. So you need to start to ask yourself, when people stumble on your brand, what does it give off? Does it look coordinated? Does it look intentional? Or does it look like, oh, there's a lot going on here? Yeah. And it feels too distracting for them to even make an action or take a decision with what they want to do with you. Now that we have that sorted out, one common mistake people make is that they just stop there. They feel once you have your link in bio and all those bits, you're good. But that's just the foundation. You cannot be a foundation and just go like, yo, I'm become more now. It doesn't work that way. So now, brick by brick, we need to build your brand. Of course, I'm going to tell you that you need to create content to build your brand. But then that's not the only thing that you need to use to build your brand. Now, we will not underplay the fact that content plays a major role in brand building, and not just brand building, expert brand building, from the point of establishing yourself as an authority or as someone who is credible that people can trust to work with. However, you need to understand that content isn't going to solve the problem for your audience. Your solution, your offer, what it is that you're creating is what's going to solve the problem for them. So what's going to differentiate you from that random person that just talks about your subject matter and you is the fact that you would not just talk about your subject matter. You would also create resources. You create offers, programs, products that would not just help them be aware of what their problem is, but solve it till the end. That's going to be a major differentiator in your brand building journey. When it comes to laying the bricks with building your brand, one thing you need to understand is that yes, content is important. Yes, offer creation is important, but you need a system to merge both things together so that you're adequately steady speaking to your audience, talking about their problems. But most importantly, you're actively moving them from just being aware of their problems to the point where they are solving them through solutions. If you're that person that all you do is create content that creates awareness, you're not solving their problems to the highest level. Because after they leave their problem, what happens next? You need to create content. You need to build your brand. You need to have a funnel that takes them from just knowing what their problem is to the point where they are done and they have solved their problem through the offer that you have created. So one of the major things you will need to do in this second phase is to create offers, to create solutions. Now, what does creating solutions look like? Creating solutions looks like infusing solutions into two different aspects of your brand. Most times, I always recommend that as a brand, you need about 5 major systems. Client attraction system, client nurturing system, which is when they finally see you and they know you as that credible person. Okay, how do you move them to the point of trust where they can trust you to solve them problem for them and then actually be able to solve it for them, right? And then beyond just that, you need like an onboarding system. And more than just an onboarding system, you also need everyday operation system within your business. So all these different angles, we need a system. And we definitely need a system. You need to infuse brand building into all these different phases. And this is what it looks like. Let's say you're in the client attraction phase of your business, where you're actively trying to get more eyes to know what you do, know what your offers are like, know what you stand for and what your expertise is. With infusing brand building there, it means that you're infusing your values and you're pairing them with amazing visuals. So most times, people override on visuals. They have clean videos, nice audio, but then we're not seeing their values. We're not seeing their personality. We're not seeing who they are. And then that's in this personality conversation. You're trying to build a client base and not a game skill. Rewind, because I'm going to say that again. You're trying to build a client base, not a girls club. So no, you're not supposed to be friends. You're not supposed to be overly excited and unnecessarily vulnerable. And they're just doing a lot of things that just looks like they're the besties. I don't know, that was calling your clients besties. Oh my goodness, can we stop on this, please? You're an expert, you're not some lifestyle influencer or blogger. And it doesn't mean you can't be both. But I promise you, they're not your best colleagues. Because by the time you start to do all of the WWE bestie kind of thing, and it looks like all of you are in a club, yeah, it will be hard for you to influence boundaries. And these are part of things that cause issues later in your business when you're working with them. Because if you have boundaries in the client attraction phase, it will be hard for you to now influence boundaries in the phase where you guys are working together. So all of these things tie into each other. You can have an amazing personality that shows you as authentic. And even we're talking about this authentic conversation of the night, I know most people feel like, oh, you need to show some sense of humor, you need to be exciting, you need to share stories. All of these things are amazing. But then when we look at your overall personality, does your overall personality just stop at you being funny? Does your overall personality just stop at you being exciting? Does your overall personality just stop at what it is that you're doing at the moment. No, your overall personality is a combination of your skills, things you enjoy, conversations you thrive on, methods you enjoy. So you want to bring all of this into your brand video. It's amazing that people know you as a jovial person, but it just makes sense that we see you for your brain more than your beauty. You'll make your brand building journey a lot better if they see you as more than just someone with a pretty face, but then they see you as someone who has proven strategies that can take them from A to C, which is what they really want at the end of the day. So don't fall into that trap. Okay, so remember the first one is homekeeping, and then now that we have tidied up our house, we are building brick and brick. Right. Now, the final thing you want to do when it comes to building brand authority is mastering your message. When it comes to mastering your message, one thing you need to understand is that what you say, what you do, how you say it is what will bring people in. But then it's okay to actually say your message over and over again. That's what sticks. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. There's no need to look for new things to say every single time you look at your audience. You want to be that person that when people think of that particular subject matter, when people think of that one thing, they think of you. And it's actually a good sign as opposed to be a bad sign. It's okay to be boring with your message. No, not boring with your delivery, but I mean boring with your message in the sense that you're handling on the same things. People can identify what you stand for and place you side by side with it, because that's what brand building is at the end of the day. You being able to stand your logo, but in this sense, not just your logo, what you do in your heart, so that you're top of mind when it comes to taking a decision. Now, grab your pen or your iPad, whatever decision you use to take it, and I want you to do 3 major things. 1, do a brand audit. And if you're wondering, okay, what should be my brand audit? How do I audit my profile? You can find a template via the link in the description. It would ask you certain questions. It would help you set new brand perception goals and just show you easy ways that you can infuse brand building into your business weekly and not be scared to this. So that it's not something you're doing by chance. You're actually doing it intentionally. Second thing I want you to do is share this video with someone who is at that point where they are really thinking about building an authority kind of brand. Not just any kind of brand, but an incredible brand that would in turn become a cash-generating brand at the end of the day for them. If there's anyone you know in your circle, or maybe you don't know, you can just still share this video with them on Instagram or other social media channels that you prioritize. Now, another thing I want you to do is open your calendar and create a recurring event and title it brand building. So you want to commit to building your brand at least twice a week. Building your brand can look like creating content that's having and messaging. Building your brand can look like designing consistent visuals across different social media channels and achievable. Building your brand can look like sitting down with your client review or client feedback form and really just taking those feedback seriously, because it's also part of a brand perception. If there's anything that has popped up occurring, maybe as a complaint or even as a compliment, right? You want to write on it and ask yourself, how can I do more of this? Because these are some of the unspoken things that really influence your brand perception at the end of the day. Now that you know what you need to do to build your brand, you need to understand that if you build your brand, or then you don't have offers that you channel it or active solutions that you're preferring to people when they reach out to you. And why on earth are you building a brand? But as well, go catch some sleep, right? So if you're at that point where you're like, oh, now that I'm building my brand, I want to be able to create solid transformational offers that hold my clients from a place of pain to a place of purpose, that really just helps them morph into a better version of themselves, whether in their business, their career, whatever it is, right? And you just believe that you have the right skill set to really liberate people and help people embrace a new reality, then we can work together to bring your offer to life. I currently have a few slots open to work with me in my executor program, which starts at first 10 weeks. And then 10 weeks of validating your offer. We are creating systems that will allow you sell your offer even while you're sleeping. We are creating systems that will allow you make money even outside an active launch period. But solidifying your messaging and really just creating an actual plan to build out your brand in a solid manner. If this sounds like something that you want to be a reality, you can find the link in the description to find more ways to work with me. And not than just working with me, you can also connect with me outside of YouTube. You can find me on Instagram at Deborah Ijeoma or on LinkedIn at Deborah Ijeoma. Now, I want you to do something. If there's any question that popped up in your mind, anything that stood out for you while you were watching this video, I want you to drop a comment below and I'll get to it. And who knows, I might make another in-depth video answering your question because I really just want to see a run through it and play. So until the next time in another video, I want you to understand that it's impossible to say you're building a brand if you don't have a solution that you're preferring to get at the end of the day. So you want to prioritize doing it. Okay? Talk to you next time.